What's going on, everyone out there? Today I am going to be taking a look at another Nintendo based title. I always wanted to do more Nintendo content on this channel, so why not review one of my favorite games from last generation and even this generation, and that game is Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right into it. Platformers. Good old 2D platformers. These are the type of games that defined my childhood and was the genre that I was first introduced to as a child. Whether I was blasting through the hills of Sonic or grabbing E-Tanks as Mega Man, platformers are games I will always appreciate even into my adulthood. Platformers are no longer the top genre in gaming in 2020. Most modern gamers are really looking for some fun in multiplayer, and I really don't blame them. I love a great multiplayer game myself, but during the Wii era, we saw a small resurgence in the 2D platformer. Games like Rayman Origins, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and Donkey Kong Country Returns were seeing some great critical acclaim. I love each of these games. I definitely revisit these every now and then. You know what? Now that I think back on it, Donkey Kong Country Returns is the main reason why I went back and played the original trilogy. I know. I've said this on the channel before, the Super Nintendo was not a console that I owned growing up, so I really missed Donkey Kong Country in its prime. So I went on the Wii's Virtual Console and purchased these games, and man was I missing out. DKC 1 was an amazing platformer with great music, the perfect introduction to these series of games. DKC 2 is a very fun time, but can be brutally difficult, which can definitely turn some players away. I mean, some of these levels are damn near impossible, but still a great game. DKC 3 was released very late in Super Nintendo's life, but honestly has some really innovative level design and definitely doesn't deserve the hate it gets. Yeah, it's not as good as the first two games, but the game is still very solid in its own right. So fast forward to 2013 and Nintendo announces their next big Wii U title, which was Tropical Freeze. The Wii U was a great console, but let's just be honest, those first couple years were rough. There were not much software support and the games were really months apart from release, but I was still a fan of what Nintendo was doing. I picked up the Wii U version day one and played it and beat it multiple times. Now I have the Switch version, so now I can play the game portably. It's great. This game was developed by Retro Studios, who were responsible for the Metroid Prime trilogy, so there was no doubt this project was in the hands of some great developers. So the story for Tropical Freeze is pretty simple. Donkey Kong is celebrating his birthday, and then out of nowhere these ships come out and pretty much freezes over Kong Island. Well, you know what that means, we gotta defend our bananas, so we gotta stop this threat immediately. That's pretty much it. Tropical Freeze has 6 main worlds and 1 secret world. After the end of each world, you will face the boss. Bosses of varying difficulty. I had the hardest time with Worlds 2 boss when recording footage for this review. Same with the Pufferfish boss, but the bosses after those were pretty easy actually. Donkey Kong will be the character you will be playing as throughout your adventure. In the past, you were able to alternate between characters. Not in this game. There are barrels that alternate between Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky Kong that give you access to their respective abilities. Diddy Kong allows you to hover using his jetpack, making platforming a little bit more forgiving. Dixie Kong can use her hair to allow you to reach higher platforms you would not be able to reach normally. Cranky Kong is pretty much Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales. He uses his cane to allow you to bounce on spikes and enemies. Very fun to use actually. I will also add, all Kongs give you advantages underwater. Diddy and Dixie allows you to move faster and swim through currents and even reach secret areas. In terms of level design, Tropical Freeze is one of the best 2D platformers you could ever play. You could tell the developers put a lot of love and thought into each of the levels. The levels are extremely fun to look at and play through. These levels offer the right amount of challenge. Not once did I think the levels were unfair or had questionable enemy placement. It was a smooth experience throughout the entire adventure. You can also find these secret portals in some levels that will unlock secret levels on the map. Each level also has collectibles like puzzle pieces, Kong letters, and golden banana coins for the shop. These standout levels for me were definitely the silhouette stages. I absolutely love these stages, I love the way they look, and I love the whole aesthetic. I would actually play an entire game like this. Nintendo, make it happen. The underwater levels were also pretty fun. I also really enjoyed the levels that had varying weather conditions. Riding Rambi through a thunderstorm was extremely exhilarating and fun for me. Vehicle levels also make a return here. Not only do we have the iconic minecart levels, but we also have the rocket levels as well. These levels were really annoying to me. It was still fun, but just a little on the frustrating side. As I mentioned, we also have a shop ran by Funky Kong where you can buy cool unlockables, lives, and barrels to use with the coins you collected in the levels. I really didn't spend much time here because I already felt the game was really generous with these things to begin with. Let's take a moment to appreciate the soundtrack. the music. If you guys know anything about me, you guys know I love a great soundtrack, and this game does not disappoint at all. Back on the boards is David Wise, and this man knows melody. Aquatic Ambience is one of my favorite tracks of all time, and his work on DKC 1 and 2 are simply amazing. Tropical Freeze is no exception. So, where does Tropical Freeze fall in with the rest of the series? Well, that depends. In terms of balancing, fun factor, and beautiful level design, Tropical Freeze can definitely be argued as the best of the series. But for me, I go back and forth all the time. Some days I feel like DKC 2 is the superior title, but the challenge can sometimes be a little too frustrating to really enjoy. So for most people, I think Tropical Freeze hits that sweet spot in terms of challenge. So, if I were to criticize this title, I really wish we got more of the animal buddies. I know that we see Squawks in the shop, and Ramby, well, he's in select levels, but I miss having dedicated levels for the rest of these guys. I don't know, I know it's small, but maybe in the next game, we can look to bring back some of these guys. It'll be fun. Overall, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is an excellent game and one of Nintendo's best titles on Switch. The level design, the music, the overall experience is just highly enjoyable, so buy the game. As always guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking some time out of your day to visit my channel and watch this review. Next time we come together, we're going to be looking at Kirby Star Allies. This is a game I've been meaning to play and it's been in my backlog for a very long time, so why not knock this out and give you guys another review in the process. So yeah guys, as always, don't forget to leave your comments down below. A better way to leave me feedback is to join my Discord. Actually, we have a lot of fun conversations there, and you can get in touch with me directly, or you guys can DM me on Instagram or Twitter. All those links are going to be in the description down below. But as always guys, have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.